Hello, how are you? Anybody home? You have the power to live your dream. You have the power to make things happen. Hello, Kareem. How are you? You got my back, my brother. Let me tell you something. Everybody, needs a Kareem in their life. Thank you so much. Listen, I've got to share with you some people that I work with, and at this transition in my life and the new chapter that I'm creating, I am learning something, and so I give myself the opportunity to learn something today that I didn't know yesterday about technology. So I spent last night rehearsing and going over the things that I need to do in order to have a successful live Facebook conversation with speakers that I've trained and speakers that I want to introduce to the world and travel with and help them to establish themselves as voices of change and messengers of hope. And so hopefully the time that I spent and the coaching that I received, the person asked, "Are you sure you don't want me to come there and be with you?" So I said, "No, I'm not sure, but I'm going to do it anyhow." Because anything that's worth doing is worth doing wrong. Did you hear that? Anything that's worth doing is worth doing wrong, or it's worth doing badly. It's worth doing right if you know how to do it. But if you don't know how to do it, it's worth making mistakes, doing it badly, doing it incorrectly, over and over and over again until you get it right. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to just keep on until I get it right. And so that's an opportunity. Think about something that you'd like to do. And one of the things about life, it's about growth. It's about learning and your willingness to fail again and again and again and again. But you learn something that you didn't know the first time. I used to be a state legislator in Columbus, Ohio. And when I introduce legislation on the floor of the House of Representatives, or if I challenge someone on some legislation or wanted to introduce an amendment, and I lost that argument, I lost because of what I didn't know. When I win, I don't learn anything. I win because of what I know. The growth comes when you fail and you ask yourself the question, what is it I need to do to overcome this? And you go back to the drawing board and you look at what corrective action do you need to take. Now, a lot of people take that as a message that they're not supposed to have it, and they quit. No, absolutely not. No, you just upgrade your thinking. You change your method. You throw your net on the other side. And so, in many cases, you got to get some help. I believe in ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong, and ask for help and don't stop until you get it. And so I asked a friend, "Can you go through this with me?" And they told me, "Don't go buy 3 telephones. You got one phone. That phone works. Work with that." I was going to go buy 3 phones. I said, "Something's wrong with this phone." I had to slap it 3 times. So I have a young man, his name is Jose Flores, and I'm going to do an interview with him. And Jose is a speaker extraordinaire, and he's an author. And I'm just so excited and honored to be working with him. And so he has written a book that I believe inspires all of us to recognize that our lives are self-definitional. that we define ourselves. Oscar Wilde, the great writer, playwright, he said, most people rarely live, they only exist. And that's real. And he had a tragedy that befell him. And he decided that this is not going to define me. Now, let me see here. I think that what I'm going to do now is make it possible. Hey, Rob, how are you? Yeah, man, I'm here in the ATL. Yeah, we got to hook up. I'm doing a mastermind with 21 people on their goals and dreams here locally. I want to do something locally. I want to plug in here locally. And be working with and training speakers that are coming in. Hey, how are you? We got people watching from the Middle East. We've got people watching from all around the world. Hallelujah. Okay, fantastic. Yes. Okay, so when okay, okay, good. Holy, he said, you're here. He said, I'm here. Okay, I think I got him. I got my buddy. There he is. Come on now. I got this thing down pat now. That's what we talking about.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, man, everything's great. How's Andrea doing?
She's doing wonderful. She's wonderful.
Great. And you look great. Let the record show. You look like fresh money.
You too, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, I was just talking about you, and I want Andrea to hold the book up so that people can see it on the screen. And the title, tell them the title of your book.
It's called Don't Let Your Struggle Become Your Standard, How to Be Indispensable Even When the Odds Are Stacked Against You.
Don't let your struggle become your standard. Go ahead. And what else is the subtitle?
How to be indispensable even when the odds are stacked against you.
How to be indispensable even when the odds are stacked against you. There you are. And that's your book. Ladies and gentlemen, you can buy this book on Amazon. It should be #1. You can make it so. Thank you very much. So we're going to get into the conversation. So first of all, I just want to thank you for taking the time for us to talk. You are my spiritual son. I love you very much. And I admire your courage. And you were determined that we were going to have a relationship. You were determined that I was going to mentor you. And you chased me everywhere. You caught me, and you were so determined and hungry to catch me. You caught me in a wheelchair.
That's right. I was hungry, man. I chased you down 3 different counties to catch up to you.
3 different counties.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, Jose, how old are you?
I'm going to be 42 next month, February 25th.
February 25th. And my birthday is February the 17th. Now, I want us to go back. When you look at your life, and there was a moment, Denzel Washington, he had a movie that I love very much. There was a moment in that movie, there was a quote that he said, there are moments in life, there's before this and there's after this. And after this, nothing is ever the same again. You were not always in a wheelchair. At one point in time, you were walking. But something happened. There was an interruption. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed. They say it's hereditary. So I was diagnosed at the age of 3 with a neuromuscular condition that's called spinal muscular atrophy. And basically what that does is the older I get, the weaker my muscles get. And the doctor said that by the age of 15, I would end up in a wheelchair. And they weren't even expecting me to live past my teenage years. So that's why I'm excited. Like I said, next month, I'm going to be 42, turning 42. So I'm still here, man, because I'm exceeding expectations. I had more inside of me than what they were expecting of me.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to like this page and share it. I want you to like it and share it. I want this to go viral. I want people to see this interview. This is going to be very encouraging, very motivational, very inspirational.
Yes.
And I want you to take notes. I also want you to go on Amazon and get the book. Don't make your challenge your standard. What do you mean by that?
Don't let your struggle become your standard. The reason I titled that was because, you know, my whole life I've had to struggle, and even to this day I struggle. Every day when I wake up, I have to get into this wheelchair, and it's not easy. It's a struggle, right? And so what I like to tell people is that everyone has a struggle. Sometimes you can see it, you know, because they're visible, like mine. You know, I can't hide my wheelchair, so everybody can see what my struggle is. But then you have some people that are struggling and you can't see it because it's internal and it's invisible, you know, whether it's spiritual, emotional, mental. And so whatever the struggle is, a struggle is a struggle is a struggle. It doesn't matter what it is. And just because I'm in a wheelchair and maybe someone else may not be in a wheelchair doesn't mean that my struggle is, you know, worse than theirs or theirs is worse than mine. So I just wrote the book because I wanted to let people know that they don't have to let their struggle become their standard. And I know a lot of times people, you know, they'll go through a type of struggle or face some type of adversity or obstacle or challenge in life, and they let that thing, whatever that thing is, they let it paralyze them. They let them keep it. It keeps them stuck from moving forward. And so I want to let people that know that, you know, if I can do it, so can they.
They say beside every good man, every great man, there's a great woman. Would you have her stick her head in there so I can see her, Andrea?
Hey, babe, let's watch you to pop your head in real quick.
Yes, because God has blessed you with a good woman. You married up. Let the record show.
Oh yeah, man. So sometimes I still ask God. I said, man, how was I able to score that one? And I know it's only through His grace.
Hi.
What
Hi,
happened?
Les. Hi, everyone.
Hey, little Red Riding Hood, you a brunette now? I love you. How you doing?
I love you too. I'm doing well. We're blessed.
You know, when I saw the video of your putting him in the car, carrying him on your back, how you have been such an incredible helpmate. I found that so inspiring that the level of love and support and compassion and the role that you had played in his life in manifesting his greatness. I know he's very grateful, but when I see you carrying him, and I said, I wonder, can I pick him up? And you've had wait a minute, you showed me the last time you showed me something that was very interesting. I think what you were getting him out of the car and somebody came to help you. What was that last video you showed me?
Well, I was actually trying to pick him up into a Chevy Tahoe. We were at a speaking engagement, and they had picked us up in a Chevy Tahoe. I'm 5'2", and Jose is 6 feet. So I was trying to pick him up into this big Chevy Tahoe, and I almost dropped him. And so the guy that was actually videoing me carry him onto the car was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like he just came and dropped the phone so he could come help us because I almost dropped him. But that's just a part of us. That's who we are, and we make it work, and we've been making it work for a long time. And I tell people all the time that, when I met Jose, I met him in a wheelchair. And when I met him, people ask me all the time, well, what is it that you liked about him, or what made you fall in love with him? And I tell people all the time, when they saw his disabilities, I saw his different abilities. And I'm very strong, but he's very strong mentally. And so we just work very well together. And it's worked.
You said they saw his disabilities and you saw his what?
Different abilities.
Different abilities.
Yes.
Okay, he might not have the physical abilities, but he has some abilities, and they're different than other abilities that we have grown accustomed to focusing on.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic.
And one of them is his mental toughness that he's going to talk to you about today, and he's going to give it to y'all good.
Okay.
But I don't want to take over the show. I'm going to let you guys do your thing.
Okay, but look here. Now, no. And I told you, I'm going to train the two of you. Listen, you're not going to cascade me. Let the record show.
Yes. That's right. I keep trying to tell her, Les.
So don't worry. I got her. Don't worry. She's not getting away. Okay. in my focus. Okay, so when we do the next training, I want you there, and you're
Okay.
gonna hit the stage. I'm gonna work with you. Okay, I'm gonna bring that
All
speed up
right.
because what really came to me was what real love looks like, and that's to me is a book that you can do. And go reserve that website real quick. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, what
We'll
it
lock
looks
it in.
like. Because a lot of
Love this one.
people, when I lost a lot of friends when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, a lot of people stopped calling. I remember
Mhm.
when I was on the radio in Columbus, Ohio, I used to get 80 calls a day. When I lost my job, I got 2 calls the next day, and after that, 0. And so to be able to judge not according to appearances. And this is what you have done, to be able to look beyond what other people saw, his disability, and saw his different abilities. And the two of you made a vow to each other till death do us part. And I
Mhm.
want you, and I watch the two of you and your chemistry and how you interact together. And even when you're not there to my mental toughness, he maneuvers and get around and follow me in that wheelchair. I know he's
He sure does.
I can feel him staring at me right now. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay, I thank you so much, Andrew. Go back to doing what you're doing.
Okay. All right.
You always blow my mind with your hairstyles. I want
She's
to
the best, man.
say it again.
She's the best.
Yes, yes. And you have 2 sons?
Yeah, we have 2 sons. Yeah.
Yes, I met one. I can't wait to meet the others. I want you to share with me as you look at your life and you go back and you look around, let's say you're 4 or 5 years old, who is it that as a kid you saw as a hero that you admired, that inspired you?
Who I saw as a hero?
Yes, that you wanted to be like somebody that because of their example, because of their faith, because of their determination, that inspired you to rise above the thinking that people might have about you and what you would have about yourself because of your physical limitations.
Well, when I was younger, I was able to play sports, and I was really good at baseball, and I used to love the Yankees. I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York, so I'm a Bronx Bomber fan, and I used to love playing baseball. But when I was a adolescent and I was playing baseball, it was hard for me to run from base to base. So I would go to bat, and then I would have to have a a pinch runner to run for me, right? Every
Mm.
time I would swing the bat and hit it, they would run for me. So my mom was really one of the biggest heroes in my life, to be honest with you, because she's the one who always, she nurtured me. She didn't make me feel like I was different from anyone else. And she always told me that I can do and be whatever I wanted to do, or become whoever I wanted to be. And even though she was there saying that, mentally, I knew that inside I had this thing that was eventually going to start affecting me. And I never really wanted to think about it. And so as I grew older, it was tough because now I'm going into high school, and that's when my body really started to make a shift, where it started to become more difficult for me to go up and down the stairs and just sit and stand from a chair, and get dressed and tie my shoes and just simple things like that. It started to become more difficult for me. And in high school, that's a big thing. And so people used to make fun of me, pick on me, try to bully me sometimes. But don't get it twisted, though, your boy was a tough cookie. But high school was a difficult time for me. And even in my book, I want to just share this quick story. In my book, I shared a story about on my graduation day, when we were getting ready to graduate. And this is why mental toughness and mind management is such a powerful topic for me, because on my graduation day, we had the graduation on the football field, and to get to the football field, you had to go down a hill, a pretty steep hill, to get to the center of the football field that was in the back of the school. And so from the moment I woke up and I started getting dressed with the cap and gown, I was already telling myself in my head, because at that time, my leg used to give out on me at random times. So in my head, I'm already telling myself, oh man, my leg is going to give out to me. My leg is going to give out on me today. I hope my leg doesn't give out on me. And so I got to the school. As I'm walking down the hill, I'm like, oh, please don't give out on me. Please go and give out on me. Because there was bleachers on both sides. And that whole field was filled with people, with, you know, friends and family. And so I make it down the hill and I'm like, ooh, I made it. Thank God I didn't fall. And as I'm crossing the stage, my leg gave out on me and then I fell in front of thousands of people.
Wow.
And everything to me, it was like I was literally in a movie. Everything was slow motion and you could hear everybody's take a gasp and they're like, and it went silent. And at that moment I was on the floor and I had a choice to make, because I was having a battle in my mind, and I said, should I have the paramedics come and get me up out of here so I don't have to deal with the people asking me questions afterwards, or laughing at me, pointing at me, or staring at me, and so I didn't have to deal with that. And then at that split moment, another conversation I was having was, boy, you better get your butt back up. You worked way too hard to get to this point for you to give up now. And I made a decision, and I had my friend that was standing in back of me. He helped me back up on my feet. The crowd stood up, started applauding, going crazy. It was pandemonium. I walked across that stage, got my diploma, and it was one of the most memorable moments in my life, because that was where there was a shifting in my thinking that said, I can either let this thing stop me and run away and be fearful of what people are going to think about me from this point and the rest of my life, or I can get up and show people that sometimes when you fall down, all you got to do is make the decision to get back up.
That's powerful. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on. Del Toro McNeil would say, come on, somebody. So when did you decide to write the book?
You know, the book has been on my heart for a little while, but, you know, like everyone else, man, everyone always has some level of procrastination in them until they say, you know what, I just got to get it done. And so last year, end of 2017, I said, you know what, I got to get this book done, because, you know, as I started to prepare myself in this personal development space and become a speaker and an author and a consultant and things like that, I started learning that leaders are readers, right? When I was younger, I didn't even like to read, let alone write a book. But as I started growing and developing myself and understanding that leaders are readers, I started reading more books and following more people and developing a certain level of understanding, and said, you know what, if I want to do what I want to do and impact lives, I want to write a book, because I know at some point I'm going to leave this earth, right? My time is going to run out. And I'm gonna go to heaven, and what am I gonna leave behind? And so I said, most people die leaving liabilities, but I want to die leaving a legacy. And so I wrote the book, because once I'm gone, the book will still be able to be left behind, so that people can pick it up and read the stories and read the experiences and see the type of mindset that I've had and I've developed to be able to become the man that I am today and overcome any adversity, challenge, or obstacle that comes my way.
You know, I was up late last night, and I'm just, the words you just spoke, most people when they die, they leave liabilities, but you want to leave a legacy. And a disc jockey that I work with in Miami, one of the disc jockeys I worked with, I saw that he passed and there was a GoFundMe for his burial, for his funeral, that he left liabilities for his family to raise funds to bury him. Then let me ask you, when people buy this book, what is it that you want them to take away?
I want them to take away that, first of all, I want them to know that whatever level they are in life, they can still take action now. No matter what they're going through, no matter what situation or circumstance that they may currently be in, no matter what storm they may be in, no matter what struggle they may be currently going through, that they can still take action now. And it's just a matter of developing the proper mindset. You know, we can't control everything, right? but there's certain things that we can't control, and we can control what we think, we can control what we do, we can control how we behave, and we can control the actions that we take. Those are the things that we do have control over. So I want people, once they read the book, I want them to understand that no matter what they're going through, they can take action now. And the cool thing about the book is that at the end of every chapter, I give them practical action steps that they can start immediately. As soon as they finish reading the chapter, they can implement those action steps immediately. And at the end of every chapter, there's a QR code that they can scan with their mobile device or their tablet, and a 1 to 2 minute video of me pops up, motivating them to action based off of the chapter that they just read. So I made it a little interactive and engaging for all the millennials out there.
I love it. I love it. Tell them how we got together. When did you first discover me?
Well, I found you on YouTube a while ago when I started, like I said, looking into motivational speaking. And so I YouTubed you. I came across your videos. And man, I watched every single video I can find on YouTube about you. I studied your voice projection. I studied your movement. I studied your tonality. I studied you like crazy. And then I started following you on social media. And one day I saw a thing come across my feed that said, Les Brown's going to be in Fort Lauderdale with the Get Motivated seminars. Yeah. And so I was like, man, I gotta go check this guy out, man. This guy, you were my mentor before I even met you. And so I was like, man, I gotta go see this guy in person and see if I can meet him and give him my package. And I talk about this story in very great detail in the book. And I even created a flow chart in the book to show people, actually the story that I'm telling everybody that's watching, it's in a chapter called The Power of Showing Up. And so I put a flow chart in the book to show people that when you show up, these are the type of things that can happen when you show up, right? So I went to the event. I saw you speak. You did a phenomenal job. It was amazing. And I stood till the end because I was like, man, I got to try to catch this guy. And, you know, long and behold, the line to go see you was astronomical. And there was people that didn't know you, people that did know you, that were there to see you and support you. So long story short, I wasn't able to get to you, right? Because there was just so many people there. But while I was there, I was able to meet Danny Allen, who was the host of the Get Motivated show. Me and him connected, and then he connected me with Brian Forte, who runs Get Motivated. And Brian Forte told me, hey, I heard you're an up-and-coming speaker. And I said, yes. And he said, are you available next week? We're going to be on tour, and our next stop is the West Palm Beach Convention Center. So I was like, yeah, I can make it there. He was like, all right, if you can make it, I'll give you 10 minutes to show me what you got. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I went the next week to go and try to catch you. That was my MO, my motive. I was trying to go and catch you. Like, man, I have one more opportunity to go see him. So I have my speaker package, my speaker kit ready to give you. And you got there literally right when you were supposed to get on stage. So I told everybody, so this time I'm like, man, I know I'm gonna catch him this time because now I have backstage access. So I'm definitely gonna catch up with him. So I told my wife, I was like, hey, I want to go around front because I want to watch him speak again. So you literally got out the car, came on stage, did your thing, got off stage. So I told my wife, hey, I'm going to run to the back to go catch Les. And I was like, where's Les? They was like, oh, he left already. So you got in your car because you had to fly down to Miami to do another event at the Dolphin Stadium. So I was like, oh, man, I missed my opportunity again. So I was getting a little discouraged at this point. I was like, man, this is the second time, man. So again, long story short, I got a phone call that same day from a friend of mine who you know as well. His name is Dr. Robert Lemon. Yeah. He was speaking at an event, and he called me and said, hey, I got 2 extra tickets if you and your wife want to come. It's at the Dolphin Stadium. I was like, hey, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. Again, like I was a little discouraged. I was like, I'll try to see if I can make it, but I'm not sure. And he was like, well, guess who's speaking here? I said, who? He said, Les Brown. I said, well, I'll be there. So we flew down to Miami, and that's where I met you, Les. I met you there. We locked eyes. I asked if I could take a picture, and I asked if I could give you my speaker kit, and you called me the very next day, man, and that was all she wrote, man. And we've been working ever since for the last 3 years.
Yes, it's been 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And look here, and the best is yet to come.
And the point of that story is that when you have determination, commitment, grit, and you're hungry, eventually you catch up to that. Eventually you'll catch up to that thing that you're looking for, that thing that you're wanting.
This is very true. This is very true. And you were hungry, and I saw that when we locked eyes, I knew that I was looking in the eyes of greatness. And I said, you and I are going to go to the end of the road together.
That's right, baby.
Okay. And we're going to change a lot of lives all over the planet.
That's right. I'm with you. I am with you.
Now, you speak to organizations, you speak to churches, you speak to businesses. What is the message, the central message that you're bringing? Talk to people about the three main points that you share with audiences that's life-changing and that you've gotten the greatest positive feedback.
So my main topic is developed around mental toughness and mind management, right? So I created an acronym for the word mind. So the M stands for managing your thoughts, right? We have the power to manage our thoughts. So we need to take full control, full responsibility of our thoughts, right? And so that correlates to business, that correlates to just everyday life living, that correlates to family, to building relationships. We have the power to manage our thoughts. Cleveland Clinic did a study that said that we think 50 to 60,000 thoughts per day. That's not including all of the stuff that we're getting bombarded with when we're on social media, when we're at home, when we're at our jobs. So we have to be able to manage that effectively, right? And so a lot of people talk about time management and goal setting and all these different topics, and those topics are all great, but it's all going to mean nothing if you don't have the proper mindset and you can't manage your thoughts. Yeah. Because if you can't manage your thoughts, you won't be able to manage your time, your relationships, your work, your finances. You won't be able to manage anything else. So really, mind management is the key. So the M stands for manage your thoughts. The I stands for initiating action. We need to initiate the action. We don't have to wait. You know, so many years of my life, I waited for people to qualify me. I waited for people to say, go ahead, Jose, you can go. Because I was always afraid of not meeting their expectation because of the wheelchair. Like, people were always prejudging me because of the wheelchair. And my whole life, I was living like waiting for people to give me the green light. And I got to the point where I was like, well, I'm not waiting for anybody to tell me what to do, or I'm not going to wait for anybody to validate me. I'm going to go ahead and initiate my own action and do what I need to do to level up and go to the next level. So initiating action. And actually, if you look at those people who initiate action, those are the people who are constantly leveling up. Those are the people who are constantly getting promotions, bonuses, and commission. And those are the people that are staying longer, that jobs are keeping around longer, because they know that that person is an action taker. And those are the type of people that businesses are looking for. They don't want to micromanagement is a thing of the past. Like, we're all grown-ups. If you're not the person that's initiating action and doing what you have to do, you won't last in any industry. So you have to initiate action. And then the next one is the N. The letter N stands for no negativity. And I got that from you, Les, because I remember one time you told me you live off of the 3 Ps, that you don't even pick up a phone call if it's not positive, productive, or profitable, right? And so I said, man, no negativity, no negative TV, no negative radio, no negative podcasts, books, no negative, and even family and friends, no negative relationships. You have to literally cut out negativity from your sphere, from your atmosphere, and from your environment, because all that does is bring you down, it holds you back, and it keeps you stuck and stagnant. So no negativity is the letter N. And then the letter D is my favorite one, which is determined to add value to yourself and others, because you can't add value to anyone else unless you value yourself. And I had to learn that, the hard way, because again, I was always waiting for people to give me the green light to move forward, to step forward. And I said, no, I'm going to take control of my own life. I'm not going to worry about what people think about me, what people say about me, and I'm going to take charge, and I'm going to go after everything that life has for me. And in doing that, I want to make sure that I'm adding tremendous value to people, and organizations and churches and different places that I speak in. I want to make sure that I'm adding a tremendous amount of value, because then when you add value to somebody, people can see through the fluff. People can see if you're really in it for impacting lives or you have another agenda. And everyone that I come in contact with, and when I come off the stage, the one thing that most people come up to me with is, and they appreciate, is my authenticity and my transparency. Because again, living life in a wheelchair, you have to depend on people. And sometimes there's certain situations when I was younger that I would get uncomfortable with, living life in a wheelchair. For example, like having to use the bathroom and having to ask somebody for help to open the door or open the bathroom stall or hold the door open for me. As a man, those are things that you just want to be able to do independently. So having to kind of put your pride away and ask people for help is a huge thing. But it's something that I had to learn. So one of the things that I'm very passionate about is being transparent and authentic when I'm speaking. So that's the acronym that I created for just life, whether it's business, church, one-on-one coaching, organizations, business seminars and conferences. My main thing is mental toughness and mind management.
Well, but first of all, you are the message as well as the messenger. And the other thing is you are very intuitive. I remember you called me and I was being prepared for a procedure on my spine. And they said it was a possibility that I would not have my voice the next day. And you prayed for me. And when you hung up, your voice, when you spoke to me, I said, here you are. You can't bathe yourself. You can't put yourself in and out of a bathtub. You can't get up and walk around. You have to be fed. Here you are living a restricted life. But in spite of that, you found it in yourself to call me. You called the motivator and you motivated the motivator. And I thank you for that, because when you hung up, after you got through praying for me, I said, I got that. I got this. And as a result of your calling me that night, I took my phone, and because I went in the bathroom and they had an X on each side of my throat, and I asked the nurse, what is this for? And she said, we're going into your spinal area and you might not be able to talk. And so as a result of you, I was so inspired. I took my phone. I said, I might not have a voice tomorrow morning, but I got one tonight and I'm about to motivate you. and George,
That's right.
a friend of mine out of Cleveland, he said he watched it. He said, who gives a speech from their hospital bed? There I am in my hospital gown and medical instruments going off and nurses coming in and out. But I was under the effect of Jose Flores. He has a book, Don't Make Your Struggle Your Standard. And I want you to tell people, how can they get, the book is on Amazon, am I correct?
Yeah, they can get the book on Amazon. If they want me to sign a copy, they can get the book from my website, which is joseinspires.com. Again, that's joseinspires.com. And I can go ahead and if they get it from the website, I'll go ahead and sign it and personalize it for them and ship it out.
Now, if they want to get in touch with you for speaking engagement for their church, for their club, for their organization, for their business, for corporations, how can they get in touch with you? What is your website?
Yeah, again, for that, there's a form on my website they can fill out. It's joseinspires.com. They can also reach me on any social media platform, which is at Jose Inspires, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, it's at Jose Inspires. They can reach out to me on any of those platforms and we can connect through there as well.
Well, I'm looking forward to our sharing the stage together more frequently in 2019, because I want you to know I'm not scared of you, okay?
That's right, man. I really love and appreciate you and everything that you've done for me and millions of other people around the world, and the people that are watching. I'm pretty sure that you've inspired and impacted millions of lives. And you've encouraged me, man, to really do what I'm doing. Yeah, there were so many motivational speakers that came up as I was YouTubing them, but your story, your passion, your authenticity and transparency was the one that I connected with the most. And I'm just so glad that, I chased you for so long and didn't get discouraged and just quit like most people would do. And I'm glad that I was able to finally meet you and catch up to you and connect with you, because just the fact that you wrote the foreword to my book, that alone right there is a legacy that I'm going to be leaving behind. So when people read the book and see that you did the foreword, that's a huge deal for a lot of people, and especially for me and my family. And I just try to show my kids that whatever you want in life, if you work hard at it and you don't stop and you don't quit and you don't give in, that you will obtain that thing that you're going after, as long as you don't stop.
Well, I told you, you're a family, and so whatever it takes, I'm prepared to take you to that next level, to soar to new heights. You're one of these individuals I'm passing the baton to and that I highly recommend. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Jose Flores, and let me share something with you. You haven't seen him speak. He's a bad somebody up it here, up it here. I want you to go to the website, joseinspires.com, joseinspires.com. I encourage you to tell your family members and friends and co-workers to invite him in to your special events, and he will motivate them if it's in sales, if it's in multi-level marketing, if it's in improving customer service or increasing production. He will custom design the presentation to meet your needs and to exceed your expectations. I want to thank you so much for carving out the time for us to talk today.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I love you so much. And thank you for everyone that's watching and tuning in. And like Les said, please like it, please share it, let it go viral. And if there's any way that I can be a servant to you or your organization and add value, please go ahead and reach out to me. I would love to connect with you.
Tell them again the title of your book.
The title of the book is Don't Let Your Struggle Become Your Standard: How to Be Indispensable Even When the Odds Are Stacked Against You.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. You take care, my brother.
Thank you. Love you, brother. Talk to you soon.
Okay, look, yes, we'll be talking this afternoon.
All right, you take care now.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much. And tell Andrea.
All right, bye-bye.
Tell Andrea next time I see her, I would like to see her hair purple. I like that color, and my daughter loves it on her. So try purple next time, all right?
All right. I don't know. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, appreciate you. Take care. All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.